following is a UTV 44 sports production. Friday Night Rivals. The UTV 44 High School Team of the Week.
We are on the hill tonight here in Spanish Fort as the Toros, unbeaten and two-time state champions, are playing host to their rivals to the south tonight. Spanish Fort and Daphne on an Eastern Shore matchup. Spanish Fort 7-0, 5-0 in region play. Daphne comes in with a record of 4-3, but they are 4-1 in the region. So this game with huge region implications here tonight. Good evening. I'm Jim Cox. My partners, as always, Dan Brennan and Vic Lockett. And Dan, you roll into Spanish Fort. It seems everybody except the players and the coaches are talking about the streak.
The streak's at 31, and you're right. They try not to talk about it inside the football program, but everybody's aware of it, of course. And it got to be 31 last week by this much.
Wow.
Blunt played them right off their feet, and overtime victory. But again, the streak continues for Spanish Fort. Everybody's talking about it across the state.
Yeah, Daphne comes in there 4-3. The record, I believe, is very, very misleading. And just like every Daphne team we've seen since we've been doing this, they've got playmakers.
They do have playmakers, including Brandlin Purdue. And this is a guy that sometimes gets overshadowed by that great tailback, but we've noticed him, right?
Yep.
We've actually noticed him in some losses to 7A teams. But even in losses, this team is pretty impressive. Purdue in particular, he's got over right around 500 career, or 500 total yards, I should say. He does it on the jet sweeps, but of course, he's a receiver, right? What do? You find a matchup, you find him in the corner, you get 6 just like that. He's got 4 total touchdowns. Very productive player, needs to be productive tonight because Spanish Fort is good.
Yeah, another thing the Toros and their fans like to talk about is their offense. They score a lot of points. They've always done it since Mark Freeman has been here. But I think that defense gets overshadowed some, Vic. They're only giving up 11 a game.
Yeah, but they've got a guy on defense, Thomas Johnson. He's a great football player. Already got offers from Clemson. He's got him as well from Southern Miss. And he's going to be a factor tonight. Look at him there. Happy to be out there. Just a sophomore, number 5. Watch him. The key thing about it, he may get blocked, but he doesn't stay blocked. He finds the football. They utilize him on special teams as well, so he'll be on kickoffs as well. So look for him to be a factor tonight.
These two teams have met twice before, and they've both come right down to the wire. Spanish Fort has won both of them. A big matchup here tonight in Toro land. Stick around. The kickoff between Daphne and Spanish Fort comes up right after this. Daphne and Spanish Fort here tonight on UTV 44. Always a special night for a Toro home game, but tonight a little extra special. Ashley.
Spanish Fort is coming in tonight with a 31 hard-fighting winning season so far. But tonight, for the first time, Daphne and Spanish Fort have met by being in the same region. We'll see tonight if Daphne can win. It will set up a 3-way first-place tie.
Toros will get the ball to start the game here tonight. Josh Varela will kick for the Daphne Trojans. Back deep, Cam Harrison, Ladero Petway, along with Christian Cotton. And Varela ready to get this one started here tonight on top of the hill, and a short kick to the far side. And Cotton will take it at the 14. Cotton up the middle, across the 30 and out to the 39-yard line. A good field position to start things off for the Toros and their potent offense. Mark Freeman, 45-5 here, 22-3 in region play since he has come here. Overall in 16 years, 159-35, 4 state titles up at Bessemer, and also took Gulf Shores to the second round of the playoffs in his 2 years down there before coming back up here to the north. And we will see the Toro offense. Again, if you're maybe tuning into this game a couple of weeks ago, Tyler Johnston, their all-state quarterback, got hurt. So Javon Brown will lead the offense for Mark Freeman and his crew when they'll empty the backfield. Brown with time, tucks it down, the 45. And it'll be brought down at midfield, and that will be good for a Spanish Fort. First down, good coverage downfield, but Brown able to pull that one down and take off and pick up the first down. Here's the starting lineups for the Toros. Johnson, Betts, Howard, Brentzel, and DeLong up front. Got some playmakers on the edge as well. Christian Cotton, we talked about him. Also Ladero Petway. And they'll get it to Petway trying to come to the near side, cuts it back. Now he's going to reverse field, got a good block, and gets just past the original line of scrimmage, but did a great job to at least make that happen. Defensively, the Daphne Trojans allowing 22 points a game. I'll look for Osborne, who got an invite to play in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game. He's big on the edge, along with Morgan as well. Broadus, Ellis, and Sanford in the backfield. Malone, Bussey, Jabia, and Richardson. And it's 2nd and 9 here for the Toros. Brown working against Ellis and pushes it forward up to about the 43-yard line, and 3rd down coming up here for the Toros.
Well, this is it, guys. This is Coach Glenn Vickery, by the way, who's been in plenty of these games, right?
Wow. Glenn Vickery, of course, won the state championship here in 2010 for the Toros. I should say for the Trojans, and the Toros have 3rd and about 6 coming up. Trey Shable in the backfield. Play clock inside 10. And Brown will take it. Brown has some time. Shable doing a great job. Fires that one high, but going up to haul it in his Petway, and he's got the 1st down. And Dan Brennan, we have talked about it before. We're going to have to see more out of Brown tonight, putting the ball up in the air if Spanish Ford wants to continue being successful.
Yes, he's going to have to produce. He never gets us up in the air. If Shable's not back there, tangling big time and really doing a great job. Trey Shable on number 91, Mario Osborne, the all-region defensive end.
1st and 10 from the 33. And we get a flag before this one gets off. Let's listen in. Going to go against the Toros.
Right of the snap, we have a false start on the offense. It's 5-yard penalty. Replay the down.
Did see a few more of those last week, I think, with Jamon Brown in there than you saw with Tyler Johnson. But part of that, just getting the play in from the sideline and getting everybody on the same page.
No doubt.
1st and 15, back now at the 38. Shable on the left side to the 35-yard line. Don't forget you can reach out to us throughout the entire broadcast. Send us an email at heyguys@utv44.com or send us a text up here at the booth. We'll be glad to try to answer all those questions throughout the broadcast here tonight. 2nd and 11 for the Toros. Cotton and Petway, the receivers, split out to the bottom of the screen. Wakatu and AU goes in motion, and Brown wants to keep it on the right side, and Brown up to the 25-yard line, and you can see Daphne trying to strip that football away. Al Malone, the big safety, was in there trying to rip it out of Brown's hands.
They're going to take the training wheels off a little bit for Brown because they figure if they're going to go deep in the playoffs, this kid's going to have to be able to do everything in the playbook. You'll see him throw it more tonight than he did last week against Blunt.
Well, Blunt, I think last week just did a good job of bracketing their receivers, and he was very careful with the football, and that was one of the things that was impressive to me about it.
3rd and 3. Brown back to the right side behind the blocking of Shable. And he's going to have another Toro 1st down.
There's no doubt he's more confident in his legs because he knows that's his strength. But I think he had great poise last week. Didn't force the issue with Blunt being able to bracket his receivers and not have them come open, and didn't make the bad mistake by throwing it to the Blunt.
Totally agree.
From the 21, 1st down for the Toros. They've had it since the opening kickoff here, and Shable right up the middle, and he's upended at the 18. We talked about how big this game is in the region. Daphne with that 4-3 record, but they come in at 4-1 in the region. You just kind of look how everything shakes out here. You've got Saraland 6-1, Daphne 4-1, Spanish Ford 5-0. So if Daphne won this game tonight, you have Saraland, Spanish Ford, and Daphne all tied with 1 loss. But you would then have Saraland, who would actually have a tiebreaker over Daphne because they beat the Trojans in week 1, and Daphne would have a tiebreaker over Spanish Fort because they won, but that's a long way from now. Brown has that one go up, and it's incomplete. Now it's tipped in the air, and it's grabbed as it went off the helmet and able to get a handle on it. It's the linebacker, Keel Sanford. Wow, that went up off of Kevin Marion's helmet. and then somehow stayed in the air. And Sanford, who had a fumble recovery earlier this season, the leading tackler for the Trojans, ends up with this football.
Yeah, take a look at it. It just ricocheted right off of Marion's helmet there and then into the hands of Sanford. And he says, look what I got, playing the tip drill. And Kevin Marion had to end up playing a defender and tackling.
I don't think Marion ever saw the pass.
I don't think so either. The safety had him cut off, and
I kind of thought he was turning himself into a defender, trying to block it from being intercepted, and it ended up coming through the defender's arms.
T.J. Reed from the Wildcat gets drugged down just as he crosses the 15 by Thomas Johnston. Daphne offense, Burrows, Rhodes, Barr, White, and Johnson up front. Riles and T.J. Reed, Quinley, the quarterback, Dupuy, Mitchell, and Purdue that Dan talked about. We're going to call T.J. Reed's number a whole bunch here tonight.
that's the way they do it. I mean, they give it to him like he weighs 230 pounds. He does not, but what a great young running back he is.
He plays like it, though,
He
huh?
sure does, doesn't he, Vic?
Over 1,300 yards this year, and they'll give it to him as he tries to stretch it to the right. And he pushes ahead near the first down, out to the 19-yard line. Defensively, for the Toros, White and Cole on the outside, Stockton up the middle, and the linebackers maybe as good as there is of a group in 6A. Johnston, Campbell, Threet, and D. Thomas, and the secondary as well, Baker, Goodwin, Mitchell, and Holcomb. And we've got an injured Toro down. That's Trey Threet, one of those linebackers we just talked about. He played very well against Blunt last week in the game we had on UTV 44.
Young guy's in a lot of pain.
And you hate to see that.
We've watched him produce on the field here for a couple of years.
He's just a junior. Coach Freeman's going to come out and take a look.
Yeah, let's pray there's nothing serious. But yeah, he's doing all he can there to see if he's trying to get him to give him some attention on that lower leg area there.
They'll continue to look at Trey Threet. We'll come back and get an update on that young man's condition. Scoreless early on here in Spanish Fort. T.J. Reed is going on the right side there at the bottom of your screen. At 42, Trey Threet. Looks like he got rolled up by his own player there, and they're trying to get him off to the sideline, and no weight at all on that right leg for that young man.
Well, let's pray he'll be okay. Though it doesn't look good right now, sometimes it looks worse than what it really is.
Reed did pick up the first down. So the Trojans, after getting the interception deep in their own end, give it off Rashad McCullum. McCullum to the 29-yard line.
You don't know that play, by the way. You saw big Chris White pulling around. That's a guard pulling on that play that is 6'1", 340 pounds.
Get out of the way.
You're going to get a lot of first downs running around and behind him.
He also got an invite to play in the Mississippi-Alabama All-Star game this week.
It's a great game to play in. I was in it for the second year. His inception.
Second and less than a yard for the Trojans. And McCullum will get it up to the 35, and that's good for another first down.
Did you say you made an interception? Is that what you said?
I have got one before.
Okay. Well,
I've even got a reception.
Okay. I just didn't. I thought that's what you said. Wanted to give you props. McCullum runs hard too, right?
Yeah, but the second year of the inception of the
inception.
inception of the Alabama Mississippi All-Star game, which we won in third overtime. Keep the trophy here in Alabama.
Randall and Purdue in the backfield with T.J. Reed, and he'll take the handoff. Tries to get away from Johnston. And gets back to the line of scrimmage. Campbell there was putting pressure on along with Stephen Holcomb.
You know, neither one of these teams is it to walk in the park trying to go wide. They both have got athletes, but they've got athletes that can really run and cover space.
Yeah, and these coaches put him in good situations.
There's your guy again, Thomas Johnson.
Yeah, he's just getting off a block, saying, hey, don't come in here. I'm going to bounce it outside. Here's my corner and safety coming up to force.
Right, but he was the one that initially kept it tight.
Great open field tackle there by Holcomb. 2nd and 10. Quinley looks to fire to the far side, and that one's high and incomplete. And they drop a flag on Holcomb.
Well, you can tell he was coming to Purdue the whole time, Jim, because coach is saying the ball was tipped. Not sure if it was. That would pick the flag up, but
yeah, I thought it was a good bracket coverage over there. He went up good zone. Underneath was the linebacker.
Ooh, I think that was tipped. Was tipped.
The corner, so I thought it was pretty good. But he got there a little bit early, maybe.
Yeah, but it was tipped. You saw it change direction there.
They were right, so could have picked that one up.
This Daphne defense, defensive coordinator Sean DeFore, Spanish Fort defense, Sean DeFore. He was the son-in-law of Mark Freeman, so Mark jokes that sometimes he might catch a little more of the wrath of frustration sometimes from the head coach than the other coaches do. But
if you get a seat at Thanksgiving, anything goes.
But what a great job. Only 11 points a game this year. And everybody, as we said in the open, everybody talks about this offense, but defensively, big hit there as Reed tried to take it through, and nothing doing as J.D. Campbell, the lone senior in that linebacking crew, came up and laid the big stick.
Just as you were speaking about that defense, take a look right here. Campbell comes in and just rebuffs the ball carrier. Don't come through here. I'm waiting for you.
Thomas Johnston down there getting him low as well to slow him up.
Campbell's bigger than Johnston.
2nd and 10. McCullum comes in the backfield with Quinley. Quinley 7 touchdowns, 12 interceptions this year, and McCullum to the 45-yard line. Wow, they are thumping out there right now.
They are. I mean, they got the interception back around the 8-yard line, so they've come a long way already. Of course, a lot of help from that interference penalty.
3rd and 4.
Quinley against this defense, I think this is exactly what Vickery would want. Now they got the Wildcat going.
So we'll call it 3rd and 4. And T.J. Reed gets Morgan Baker to jump offside, it appeared.
Prior to the snap, offsides. Defense, 5 yards. Replay the video.
Enough for the Daphne first down. And they moved it all the way up to the 40-yard line. So we're inside 4 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Quinley with a handoff to McCullum. And McCullum again, J.D. Campbell is there to stop him. Tried to go on the left side, and McCullum came face-to-face with Campbell.
They're just playing good, sound defense right there, and gang tackling the offensive player, driving him back for no gain.
Spanish Fort defense, they've allowed 60 points all season. That's it. And only more than 14 points one time. And that was in week 2 against Gulf Shores. But they are stingy.
I had a conversation with Mark Freeman about these kids in his office right before the game.
Reed on the right side. TJ up to about the 36-yard line. 3rd down coming up.
I said, Mark, I know they're only high school kids, but they look like guys in the movies that robbed a train in the Old West.
Follow us on Facebook. Search UTV44 High School Football Game of the Week. Jared Kihas always with great information there on our Facebook page. Check us out there. You can also comment on tonight's game, and we'll follow that through the broadcast and try to respond to you as well. 3rd and about 6 coming up.
How about
the Trojans?
They graduate and they replug with the same kind of player.
Yeah, and you know,
right?
They really do here in Spanish Fort. And next year, you know, they look great on paper. Again, Reed pushes ahead, and he has the Daphne first down. It appears, no, he's going to be just short now, and the mark to the near side of the field. Looked like he had fallen forward to get it, and now it's going to be 4th and inches.
We got some big fellas up front. A little movement on the offensive line, pulling people around, and there's some big guys on the move right there. And that Reed really knows how to use his blocks.
Fourth and less than a yard, and they'll stay in the Wildcat. And now a flag dropped on the Daphne sideline. But let's see if there was a timeout called before the flag. There was. The games, how about David Kirksey last night? 6 touchdowns for Fairhope as they hammer on Davidson 55-28. Saraland with a win over LaFleur. Also tonight, Jackson and Thomasville, Mary G. and Bryant. Big one to see who gets to paint the cannon tonight. Murphy and McGill Tulin. Foley and Theodore, Blunt and Baldwin County tonight. Gulf Shores and Robertsdale, Faith Academy, BC Rain, St. Paul's and Escambia County. Williamson, Biger, W.S. Neal and Satsuma. Clark County and Southside Selma. UMS ranked number 1 in 4A. Back in action tonight. You see other games going on as well, as including the Milry and Fruitdale matchup.
Big matchup up there now.
Here tonight, we have got the big one on the Eastern Shore. Daphne and Spanish Fort. Coach Glenn Vickery. Well, Coach Vickery, one of only a handful of guys who have coached at the 6A level, football, basketball, and baseball.
Interesting.
All 3. He's been around a long time. Great run here at Daphne. Of course,
it's hard to trick him with anything.
Yep. It's the 10th play of this drive that has taken up almost 6 minutes. And they push ahead, and Daphne has another first down.
Yeah, shockingly, they were able to get that because they had 10 men at the line of scrimmage, all within the box. Just daring them to pass it out of that formation, which, of course, you're not.
Quinley has thrown for over 800 yards this year. Completion percentage at just 48%. Just a junior, but he has a big arm. We have seen that in a couple of games we've done this season.
Glenn Vickery goes on about what a great young kid he is. It's not easy being the quarterback at Daphne.
Yep.
Right? If you get what I'm saying?
Give to T.J. Reed, trying to bounce it to the outside, and a great open field tackle by D. Thomas. Thomas, the junior, able to grab him in space and bring him down, and that does not happen very often.
No, and he decides to bounce it outside, but against certain defenses, that's just not going to go.
Especially one like this one.
Yeah, man.
You know, they're well coached, they're sound, they have their gap responsibility down, they have repped it, and they know what they have to do, so that's why you'll see great plays like that out of the defense.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13. We're under a minute to go here in the opening quarter. Play clock under 5. They're not going to get it off. They have to call a timeout. Play clock down to 1, and they are not going to get it out. We'll see. Did Glenn Vickery get a timeout? He was right over in the side judge's ear and got it right before the play clock expired. One of those things, game awareness, not not letting things slip by you there. But boy, that would have been a tough 5 yards to give up, because it would have gone from 2nd and 13 to 2nd and 18.
Exactly. You don't want to put that young quarterback in that position against this sort of defense. They just want to ride it out with Reed, as much as they can.
Yeah, and these coaches, I think they get too cute trying to play the little strategy games, and it's not so much on the players, but the players are looking over there trying to get the play at the very last minute, which causes them to have to burn a timeout or a clock's running down.
Hey, Vic, we got an emailer with a question for you. Says, who was the best overall running back you've played with or against in high school? And that one's from Sweet Chew.
Sweet Chew. Give me a second. Let me think about that, because there's been quite a few. You start out with Electron Williams, who was at Viger, was a great one. In fact, I faced him in middle school.
Wow.
and he was the size he is in high school, in middle school, ironic.
That was not any fun, I'm sure.
No, it wasn't.
And Sweet Chew with no interest to find out who you and I were the toughest one we played against. Man.
Sweet Chew said, I'm not going there.
So there's been some great ones, though.
All right, Vic's got some more that come to you throughout the evening. We'll continue to go back to that. All right, so think about that was the best one you played. Think about who you played with. Find us a great one who you played with. It's 2nd and 13 here for the Trojans, and back to the Wildcat. And now a whistle before that one gets going, and the flag over on the Spanish Fort side.
Okay.
That's going to be 2nd and 18 now coming.
There's your
against the
2nd and
Trojans.
18 you were talking about. Happened anyway, even though the timeout was burned.
Well, we got a packed house, and maybe the noise is getting to us. There's a great football player right there.
Tyler Johnston, whose attitude is just, he's just back, happy as could be, all smiles on his face. He'll be back playing next year for the Toros.
Like to say hello to his grandparents, Manley and Beak.
Where are they watching that, Vic, tonight?
They're watching from Cresco, Iowa, and Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
I love that.
The aunts are up there in Cedar Rapids.
I have spent a great number of evenings in Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Sorry to hear that.
Stepping up, Quinley putting that big arm on display, and it's overthrown, looking for Purdue. Good coverage back there by Holcomb.
So that was great. We got correspondence from the folks out in Cedar Rapids the last time we had a Spanish Fort game.
That's right. They always look at the games. Yeah.
Had some relatives in Oregon watching that night
as well.
As well.
Right.
So you can, of course,
Let me get that name correct now. It's Manley and Linda Beach. Got it?
Got it? Yeah. All right. So local15tv.com is where you can catch these games on the stream, always live on Friday nights. And 3rd and 18 from the 37 coming up for the Trojans. Quinley pulls out to his right, going to pull it down, and he'll get dropped back to the 35-yard line. Good coverage downfield. The Toros only rushed 3, and there was nowhere to throw it. That'll bring the quarter to a close, and 4th down coming up. We are scoreless on the hill between the Trojans and the Toros. Glenn Vickery's team, 16 plays, 7.5 minutes, and forced to punt here on 4th and 17. And Varela trying to angle it to the corner. Great high kick. And Ladero Petway gets away from it. And the Trojans, they can't pin it. Wow, they had the coverage back there. But Alphonse Malone could not pin that one down. Let's go down to Ashley. She's got a special guest.
I do. We have Reese Dismukes. I think we all remember him at Spanish Fort. He was also the #1 recruit for center that Auburn fortunately did receive. But tonight, we're here to honor you, your number. What does it mean to have your jersey retired with you still being in college?
I mean, just, a great honor, obviously, to be able to represent this school that, helped me get to where I am today. And, just be able to glad to get back to them.
Right now, you're in your senior year at Auburn. You're a center. What can you tell me, advice to high school kids, to college kids, being in that senior leadership role to look for? What do you express to the guys?
Just going out there every day and giving it your all and just being yourself each and every day. And all you can do is work hard. And at the end of the day, whatever your role is, whether it's being a leader or being a follower, you just got to go out there and do that and do it to the best of your ability.
I have to ask you about one more thing. Auburn suffered their first loss of the season last week to Mississippi State. What has practice been like this week?
It's been great. We got a team full of energy, and we're just excited to get back to work this week.
Great. Thank you so much, Reese.
Thank you.
Boy, what a high school player he was here. He was #1 center in the nation, #1 recruit out of the state of Alabama, number 56 recruit in the nation overall. And
here's one guy you don't have to remind, because Vic Lockett used to sing his praises way back in the day, right from this press box.
I'm telling you, if you were watching the game, Ray Charles can see that.
3rd and 11. Brown looking to throw it, instead pulls it down, trying to make a move. Still on his feet and up to the 29 is going to be just short of the first down. Back to Reese Dismukes for a second. Also, his dad, they're retiring the grill here. He was the grill master. Ed Dismukes had the big grill down at the far end, and of course was here when the high school opened up. And his mom and dad, Ed and Kim, just wonderful folks, and very proud and here again watching the game tonight.
Yeah, Reese likes his burgers medium well.
And burgers.
And he likes the Benny.
I could attest to that. Reese and I shared a burger at Pirates Cove this summer.
Excellent.
Well, we really didn't share the burger. We were just there together. So Jerry Wakatu and AU with a line drive kick. And that one goes all the way down inside the 25. What a great punt down to the 23-yard line. And give us a chance to get to our trivia question here tonight. Daphne Trojans, of course, had some great players run through there. Who was the first Trojan to play in the National Football League.
Wow. I've got to guess.
Noodle through.
I've got to guess.
Lockett not piping up like last week when he said the question was easy and then lost.
Here, I'm stumped.
He was lost there. Think about that one. We'll come back.
Well, high school's not been around all that long. You have to remember that. Early 90s?
25 years.
Okay.
Yep, I believe.
All right.
So each team touched it once in that first quarter. And now Spanish Fort a quick 3 and out to start the second. And now the Trojans back at it. Penetration. Again, Maurice Cole there, able to make the stop. This might just settle into a tussle, Vic Lockett.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be. I mean, you're working for those high-scoring offenses, but these defenses are having a statement to say here early about that, Jim.
Gain of 1.
That's what really makes Daphne's first drive so impressive. They had 16 plays against this defense.
T.J. Reed averages.
Nothing to show for it, though.
Yep. Reed averages 8.5 yards a carry. Quinley able to get that to Purdue. His first touch through the air tonight and slips at the 29-yard line. Third down coming up.
Yeah, this looks like the second time I've seen a receiver or a back slip down. So kind of the middle of the field looks replaced. Maybe outside the hash mark, not. But that could be part of it.
3rd and 4. There for the Trojans. Four wide receivers, lone back is Reed. They'll shift him. Now play clock at 5, and now too much movement by the Daphne Trojans. Pre-snap penalty. Oh, coaches hate a pre-snap penalty, don't they, Vic Lockett?
Yeah, that'll get you running a few stairs.
You know, at 3rd and 4, they had everything spread out. I was really expecting a draw to Reed. I think it might be as good a bet as you got with a running back that good, but we won't know now.
3rd and 9. Lyles will split up to the top. Mitchell in the slot and Brandon and Purdue to the bottom of your screen.
Looks like they're going to do a little belly play.
Quinley fakes the handoff. Now looking to set up a screen. They get it to Reed, but staying home is that Spanish Fort defense. Brady Hall, who came in to replace 3, and now a late flag comes in. And they were blowing the whistle down, but play down, and Reed took off again. They set up the screen here.
Yeah, it was well set up, but they defended it as well.
His knee never touched the ground, but the whistle did blow.
Man.
And then he got a bump from Jake Goodwin there.
There's a lot going on that play because, like you say, I don't know that he was ever actually down. He keeps going. Goodwin continues to play the play after the whistle.
Whoa. So they call it on Goodwin, 15 yards.
And the ref gave it 3 taps that time on the personal foul to emphasize it.
You can see there, his knee never goes down.
Elbow, though.
Which does constitute as being down.
Now, snap infraction.
Yeah,
You know,
I
and
think
we're-
everybody knew the snap counts up the center.
Yeah.
We're up here, too, and in the middle of that play with the crowd screaming like it was on both sides of the stadium, there was a possibility that Goodwin did not hear the whistle or just sounded like some other
And it
noise
wasn't
debris.
I wouldn't say it was an egregious hit either. It was not.
Yeah, just a little love tap.
Yeah. 1st and 15. Coming here now for the Trojans.
But neither one of these defense do you want to have down and distance problems.
Although we have seen some defenses the past couple of weeks here on UTV 44. That blunt defense last week. Purdue tries to bring it around. Spanish Fort coming in here unbeaten. Last time they lost, the game we did here on UTV 44 back on October 5th, 2012.
St. Paul's.
Yep, 31-21.
They avenged that loss later in the year in the playoffs.
Yep, another game we did here on UTV 44.
Sure.
2nd and 13. Quinley wants to keep it himself, and he's dropped back to the 35, and I'm not so sure he wanted to keep it himself.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the design of the play there, but nevertheless, he started with the football, ended up with the football, and a loss of yardage right there.
Yeah, I think that was miscommunication between Quinley and Reed, and Quinley pays for it. You know, you make a half a wrong step against either one of these defenses, they will make you pay.
Folks in Iowa chiming in, saying he was definitely not down, so they've got their decision, but the refs have the last say.
Quinley wants to air it out, looking for Purdue, gets turned around and incomplete. You're seeing the arm on display a little bit there from Quinley.
Yeah, you talked about it earlier, and we've seen it twice, and he's had one-on-one coverage twice with his talented wide receiver just not able to connect.
In tonight's game, you'll be able to go to local15tv.com and vote on a player of the game. We'll give you 3 choices at halftime tonight. We'll talk about Javon Brown and the game he had last week, leading his team to a victory over the Blunt Leopards, and quarterback for the Toros, the player of the week this week. Barella on to punt, pressure coming. Barella still gets off a decent punt, and Petway tried to make the catch. The ball is loose and picked up by the Trojans as Luke Broadus was there.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a flag for giving him interference in terms of not giving him enough space to catch the football.
There's no halo rule in high school.
It's not?
There is not a halo rule, but that...
What is he... See what his penalty is.
You know, I'm not sure. Did it touch... Did it... I don't think it touched Petway. I think it touched the Daphne player.
So, therefore, it was not returnable.
If he had...
Yeah.
If you had... You know, sometimes if you have to establish a little bit of possession to touch, I know... Let's see if that's what... If it was...
That's a good point. He may...
Does Petway look like he was reaching for it? Because there's not a... Was there a flag?
Yeah, there is a flag. So
because he dropped the beanbag like a fumble.
But there was a beanbag and a flag. So you're saying there's no halo rule, but there's got to be something to give him space to catch the football.
Right. And that did hit the Daphne player first, and then let's listen in.
Kick catching interference. An awarded fair catch. I'd say, listen.
Yeah, I knew it had to be something where they give him some room.
Yeah, you have to allow him to catch especially on a fair catch like that. You have to allow it, but it's not the halo like you have in the NFL where you have the clear halo around him. So here we go, up at the 47 after the penalty. You know, the Brown gives it off to Shable up near midfield. You know, the penalties we've seen some pre-snap stuff, but most of the penalties, Vic, are just aggressive football playing penalties, and I think a lot of those the coaches can live with those.
Sure, yeah, and these guys just want to play big rivalry, big game. The intensity levels up, so you're going to see a couple of them until they settle down and start playing within the confines of the game. Take a look at Coach Vickery, coaching them up over there.
Pick up of 2. Petway in motion. Daryl Petway trying to turn the corner, and Petway still on his feet, and he'll have a first down up to the 40-yard line for the Toros. Cleo Yelding thought he had a chance to grab it and ends up riding him down from behind, but a first down for Spanish Fort.
Everybody's got the same plays.
It looks like Yelding's going for the strip there as well.
Way back at the 42. An injured Trojan there.
Now let's pray this young man's okay and not anything serious.
We've got a couple of guys go down. Neither one initially has looked very good, for sure.
We saw Trey Threet go out earlier with an injury for the Toros.
But the way this ball game's going, I mean, I think both of them are just kind of filling themselves out. You're going to see it settle down, and then it's going to be a big play somewhere here or there that's just going to break things open in this game.
Yeah, that's Keel Sanford. He had the interception earlier in this game.
He's been a guest of ours on the pregame show, too.
Yep. Brian Metz, the athletic trainer for Daphne High School out there does such a great job.
And we met some class young men from both of these schools
on the
in
pregame
seasons
show.
past,
Oh, yeah.
and certainly this year too.
First down for the Toros. Cam Harrison stretching it all the way to the short side. From the short side, I should say, to the 35. Went a long way on that one to pick up a handful of yards.
He's going to have to go a long way because Malone just kept his outside shoulder free the whole way, right?
Sure, yeah. That's what you got to do. Keep that outside arm free. Keep stretching it out. Bounce it out. Bounce it out. Don't give him a cutback lane up inside.
Pick up a 5. Javon Brown ready's looking to pass, wants to throw it up on the near sideline in traffic, and Kevin Marion goes up, but he's out of bounds.
Good job of high pointing the football. You got the big, tall receiver. Put it over there for him. Let him make a play. Just was a little bit to the outside and didn't give him a chance to catch it.
Marion shows good ball skills, too.
Yep, he has them. I'm sure that made his uncle very happy. Zeph Richardson talked to him a little bit tonight via text. Looking in at the game.
We got to mention our folks in Oregon are watching again here tonight. Nancy Ernst Jasper posts on our Facebook page that she is watching the game in Oregon tonight.
Love that.
Brown, pressure coming, throws it back. Marion with a great one-handed catch, and then he's tripped up at the 29 as Trent Ellis did a great job in space against the big lanky receiver.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Javon did a good job with somebody bearing down on him to just get that ball out there to him. Great one-handed catch there. I'll tell you what, Zeph's probably standing up on his chair for his nephew there, jumping up and down with that nice beauty there.
How about that first down conversion?
Yeah.
Good job by that young man.
Scoreless. Inside 5 minutes to go in the second. Toros drove it down deep on their first drive of the game, and a drive that took 4.5 minutes. Then they turned it over with an interception. Brown fires, and he's got a favorite target now, Marion, and it's a big target to look at as well. Tyrick Richardson over there on the coverage.
He's getting those touches that they've been looking for, and so he's making the best of them as well.
Little tempo now from Spanish Fort, by the way. They're starting to less and less time in between snaps. I think they've got the Trojans on their heels.
Showing some confidence in the young quarterback to throw the football as well.
2nd and 6. Brown, empty backfield, pump fakes. Now he's going to pull it down, and he's got space. Javon Brown, and slips it down again, like Vic Lockett mentioned.
Yeah, there's something going on with that sod out there outside of the hash marks.
I will say, the temperature is dropping quickly here tonight. First time we've had that.
Get a little condensation.
And I think that just might be what we're having here. But, is that frustrating when you got a lot of big space in front of you there?
Cox and I were running sprints before, while the sun was still up. Everything was fine.
Oh, we need to get video of that for certain.
3rd and about a foot.
In the play from the sideline.
Play clock at 5, and Brown's got it. Going to throw it middle of the field. He's able to hit his receiver, but dropped at the 3 as he was trying to come to Ladero Petway.
Here's exactly what I'm talking about. They're going to let the quarterback grow up because they know they want to get to week 15, and they know you've got 2 downs to get this foot.
Sure.
So they let him try and make a big play on 3rd down, Jim. Let's see if he can make a big pass in a situation like this. He delivered, doesn't get caught, but now they've got 4th down, a chance to get that 1 foot.
And they'll empty the backfield. 10th play of this drive. I think Mark Freeman wants to talk about this one. Oh, what a great first half of football we're watching here tonight.
Yeah, and you nailed it in the pregame. You said, a lot of people talking about, for instance, Spanish Fort and that offense. But, man, not only their defense, but the defense of Daphne really showing up tonight in a big rivalry game.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see that out of both of these well-coached football teams. They're going to play good defense, and it's going to be good gap responsibility. And like I said, I think it's just going to be one big play by one of the great players that, bust this thing open.
This is week 8 for the Toros, and this is just their 3rd home game. Warrior team, just the 3rd
I didn't realize that.
home game they've had so far this year.
We did one earlier this year from here. That was a great one against Saraland.
Yep.
And, of course, just had him last week at Blunt. 2 great games.
Board and a foot. They'll bring Trace Shable at 195 pounds in the backfield with Javon Brown.
Man, I think he's good for a foot.
Yeah, I do too. Usually.
Oh, the bad snap goes off the hands of Brown and all the way back, and a turnover the second time tonight. But the Toros have had it down deep, and the snap
Yeah,
a little high.
Yeah, I think it was there. It just, I don't know, it was just a little hard maybe. You know, just wasn't coordinated with
And
his hands
Shable
to
was
bring
right
it in.
there.
Maybe timing. Yeah, it looked like Shable came across his face, maybe at the
Distracted.
wrong spot. Yeah, and I think it was going to be a counter. I don't think it was going to go to Shable. I think it was going to be a quarterback keep coming back to the left.
Okay.
But we'll never know. Would we have guessed nothing at the half?
I don't think so. And we got 3 minutes to go. Daphne's defense has been stingy down twice now. Down deep. Quinley fires it out to the far side, able to get Brandolin Purdue, and Purdue's got some space and a first down across the 40. And time for our Educator Spotlight tonight, brought to you by Faulkner State. Let's go back down to the sidelines to Ashley.
I am with Rachel Jernigan from Daphne, which she is more focused on the game right now than me, so I'm going to try to be quick with you. I see you're in all pink, and Daphne's having a whiteout. What is this all about?
This is the kickoff of our Breast Cancer Awareness Week. Next week is our big game for the pink out, and so it starts now. Our cheerleaders are in pink. All of our football players have a pink armband, and this is just the beginning of the activities to come.
Gotcha. Dr. Foster told me this week that she is trying to bring back that it is cool being smart. What is Daphne doing to make that happen?
There's definitely a big push in our AP program for students to get involved. I know 6 of the guys that are out there right now, and which I'm fighting to look at, were taking our AP English 1 exam this morning, so I know they're exhausted, but they're playing great.
One thing Daphne likes to emphasize themselves on is being involved. That you were telling me.
Student involvement is definitely huge this year. It's not just to be an academic student or an athletic student or in clubs. There's definitely a big push to be a little bit of everything and just become well-rounded.
Well, I appreciate it. You can watch the game because your Daphne Trojans are going down the field.
Quinley scrambling there before John Stockton finally gets up from behind, but a great job by Quinley to keep that one alive and get it nothing downfield, but boy, able to get at least past the original line of scrimmage here.
And how about how the young senior leader from Daphne was saying, you know, we got to cut this thing short.
Yeah.
I want to watch the game.
Yeah. And she's also talking about it's cool to be smart, and yet again, I am left out of the cool kids club.
But she was talking about some of the players on the field. That was really neat.
Yeah, it's been exam week all week in Baldwin County.
Midterms
for these students, and taking that AP English exam early this morning, and they're out here playing tonight. 3rd and 8, low snap. Quinley looking near side the whole time, fires it off, and he's able to get Keontae Mitchell, and he's going to have a first down for the Trojans with 1:14 to go.
Yeah, that's a good pickup of a first down there. It gives them a little chance to make something happen here before the half gets out.
Yeah, and a little discussion, shall we say, on the Spanish Sports sideline as to exactly how he had such a big cushion.
Just one timeout for the Trojans here, and the clock runs after they get the chains reset. John Quinley, the junior, looks over the middle of the field, able to get Purdue in space, and Brandolin Purdue has a first down to the 31.
Well, prevent defense here is giving them the opportunity to make things happen.
Yes, create some space. And, you know, a lot of people say about the prevent defense, it prevents you from stopping the offense.
Right. In this case, I'd have to say they're right on.
Quinley gives it off. T.J. Reed up the middle, and Reed inside the 25.
Yeah, great play selection there by Coach Vickers there. Hey, get them spread out, make them thinking about pass. How about give it to my little quick running back? He's subject to score anywhere on the field.
Well, that took a lot of time, though, as you're going to be under 30 seconds when you snap this one and just one timeout left. Quinley looking, zings it to the near side. Purdue. And he makes the catch, and that will stop the clock with a first down. And I think Daphne going to take a timeout here as well. Wasn't sure if he got that one on first look, but there on the replay he clearly did.
Yeah, and again, he's got a bit of a cushion because Spanish Fort is trying to prevent the touchdown.
Got some more folks checking in. Hey, Tom Amrick from Cleveland, Ohio.
Wow.
Watching the game with LeBron tonight at the house.
They love their football in Ohio.
And all right, hey, another Vic Lockett question. Not many for Jim and Dan, but all right, we'll keep going. Hey, Vic, how many rings did you get while you were with Alabama? And can you name the bowl games that you got rings in as well?
Only 2 bowl games, and they were both national championship implications. Only won my second year. My 4th year, I'm sorry.
92? 92. Vic Lockett, member of the national championship.
Got a ring for being SEC champs, and you know the what do you call the prize when you win for second?
Yeah, consolation
prize.
Did you get it?
Miami
Yeah,
Hurricanes won that one.
Yeah, Vic, not a lot of folks played in a national championship game, ended up in second place, though. You know, it's quite, I know it's tough when you lose that game, but, not
you don't want to lose any of them, especially that one.
But not a lot of folks get that opportunity.
Right.
Our own very own Vic Lockett, of course, did that, so now they'll bring McCullum in the backfield. Clock stays stopped with 21 seconds. Left Quinley on first down. Quinley looking to the end zone, and he just overthrew Purdue.
Yeah, he had him, too, on that little post right there. Just weren't able to connect it.
He had him in between the linebacker and the safety, and
just well behind him there.
He whistled it, but he just whistled it late.
And it stopped the clock with 16 seconds left.
You can see the talent from Quinley.
Yep. Yeah, I think both these quarterbacks have done a pretty good job with the ball. The only interception mistake came was off a ricochet.
2nd and 10. Reed in the backfield. He'll slip out. Instead, they look to the corner of the end zone, wide open, and Henderson, he couldn't get him. He had the sophomore Miles Henderson.
Wow. Unbelievable. Had him wide open by himself. He had the whole backyard to himself, man.
He did.
I'll bring up a 36-yard field goal attempt coming up here.
And Quinlan wish he'd get a do-over on that one. I don't know what happened. They just seemed to have lost him.
Was it that overthrown? Did Henderson not see it? Or
Henderson didn't really respond to the football, it didn't seem like.
Well, it was way off. I mean, he could not get close to it at all.
All right, so Morello will try. 36-yard attempt. And it's no good.
Wow.
What a defensive half show-off we've had here tonight from both sides.
Yeah, I hate to disappoint you, Jim, but yeah, defense sometimes show up at these football games. I know you like the fireworks of the offense, but I can live with these defensive struggles myself.
So the Toros make a stand, much like the Trojans have.
Yeah, well, both these teams definitely had a plan, as did Spanish Fort. They're busing folks in from the Eastern Shore Center tonight.
Yep.
To make sure that they've got limited parking here, but they got enough seats. So to atone for the lack of parking, they bust people in from the mall, and this place is more than packed.
Brown gives it off to Cameron Harrison, and Harrison will pick up a first down, but that will close out the first half. What a great first half of football here tonight on UTV 44. It's the game of the week, and we certainly are seeing just that. And Mark Freeman is down with Ashley. Ashley.
All right, Coach Freeman, really simple. What are we going to do to get points on the board?
Well, we got to get some field position, and we had 4th down play that was going to hit, and we messed up the snap. And just it's back and forth right now. We got to make some plays. It's going to come down who can make some plays. Defense playing good, and we'll be all right. Second half, come out and not make no mistakes on snaps and stuff. We'll be all right.
Can you give me any update on your injured player?
No, I have no idea.
No, thank you, Coach.
Coach Mark Freeman and his team scoreless at the end of the half. We'll take a timeout. They're going to retire Reese Dismuke's number here at the half. Quite an honor for that young man. Scoreless on our game of the week between the Toros and the Trojans here on UTV 44. Let's go down to the field here at halftime. They're about to officially retire the jersey of Reese Dismukes.
The big man in the middle by retiring his Spanish Fort High School jersey for not only what he accomplished as a Toro and is accomplishing as a Tiger, but also for the young man of positive influence that he has become. Reese, the number 75 jersey will hang permanently in our field house and hopefully serve as motivation for all players that come through our athletic program. Reese Dismuke, thank you for all you have meant to our Spanish Fort football program and our Spanish Fork community. Please join me in congratulating and welcoming back to the hill, number 75, Reese Dismukes. Presenting Reese's jersey tonight, Danville High School Principal Marty McRae, alongside Reese, the man with the bobcat and the chainsaw, Big Ed Dismukes, his mother Kim, current Auburn student sister Kathleen Dismukes, and his All-American lacrosse player little brother Harry Dismukes. Congratulations, Reese. Go Toros and War Eagle.
Quite an honor getting a big hug there. Reese Dismukes from his mom, Kim. He's got his brother and sister there with him as well. And, you know, Reese Dismukes won the state championship with Auburn when he was a senior for Spanish Fort up at Auburn when he was a senior, and it's like he just never left. Like he won the state championship game there and went up there and started school early and was able to just stay up at Auburn, of course, playing right now for the Tigers. But congratulations to Reese. What an honor, and the first one to have that number retired here from a football standpoint for the Spanish Fort Toros. So congratulations to Reese and the Toro family here tonight. Quite an honor. And his dad there, we joked about him and running that grill for all those years down here in Spanish Fort and helping raise money for this young school at that point when Reese showed up, and quite an honor for him and his family. And let's go down to the band now, and we can enjoy the Daphne band at the half. We're scoreless between Daphne and Spanish Fort here on the UTV 44 High School Football Game of the Week.
Tonight's visual soloist, Brooke Bailey, Meredith Morgan, and Skylar Singleton. Drum major Jacob Moore is the band ready. Ladies and gentlemen, the sound of the Eastern Shore.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Enjoy the Spanish Fort Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Spanish Fort High School marching quarterback.
Big crowd here tonight on the hill for our UTV 44 game of the week. Spanish Fort and Daphne, and it's scoreless at the half, and I think that says it all, what we saw.
I guess we're going to have some highlights. They're defensive, and that's going to make this guy happy.
Oh, yeah, I love that. Both defensive. Well, I'd say one of them has been but not broken, so it's just been a defensive struggle, and I'm enjoying it, guys.
Yeah, it really has started off that way. Each team, had a chance to move the ball down deep, and then we saw the defense really shine on that first drive. Spanish Fort drove it down, and they were marching here, and then this one goes right off the helmet of Marion in the hands of Keel Sanford. So the linebacker comes up with an interception, as that was the opening drive. Spanish Fort was taking it all the way down deep, and then on 4th and inches, Mark Freeman said we had it dialed up, it was going to work. The snap didn't happen, and then a 36-yard field goal attempt just wide right by Josh Valera. And there's where we're at, scoreless. 10 first downs for Daphne. And you look at that total yardage in the first half, 99 for Daphne, 102 for Spanish Fort. And it's about as even as it can be just looking at those halftime stats there. Randall in Purdue, 4 receptions, 39 yards. Dan highlighted him. TJ Reed just 20 yards rushing here at the half, and you can see Spanish Fort's been bottled up as well. And let's go down and check in with Ashley.
I caught up with Coach Vickery coming out of the locker room, and he is very pleased with how Daphne is playing. He just says those plays have got to turn into points, that they're executing well. Plays are being successful, but they've got to go all the way.
Daphne will get the football to start
and
the second half here.
Yeah, I agree with Coach Vickery. It's hard to argue with that. They've moved the ball some. They've played awfully well. Missed a field goal by just a little bit. Had a couple of shots down near the end zone or in the end zone that they dialed up what they wanted and overthrows. So if the young quarterback gets on target in the second half, that could be the difference in the game.
We'll reset where we're at. Spanish Fort 7-0 on the year, 5-0, 31 straight they've won, including the last 2 state championships. Daphne comes in. They're 4-3, but again, that record a little misleading because they're 4-1 in region play. Only region loss coming to Saraland by a touchdown to open up the season. And their other 2 losses, 7A non-region losses, one at the hands of Murphy and one at the hands of Fairhope. And so we'll get ready to open things up here in the second half.
You know, quickly, let me just say, a lot of teams come in thinking,
good to see Cleo Sanford back out there on the field as he left late in the first half. Sorry, Dan.
I'll finish that thought after the kickoff, but it's got to do with probably Daphne's state of mind more than anything.
High kick to the near side and picked up by T.J. Reed at the 30, and Reed goes out of bounds at the 35. Hey, each week we give you the player of the week nominations. Last week, Javon Brown the quarterback catching the pass to win it in overtime for his team.
Yeah, the young quarterback. Vic Lockett talked about the fact that in some ways is what he did not do. Correct. To keep them in that game. He did not put his team in peril by throwing interceptions. And in the very end, it's a throwback to the quarterback in overtime. And Spanish Fort Street gets the 31.
Ladero Petway with the toss to Brown. And at the end of tonight's game, you'll be able to go on to local15tv.com. And we will have 3 players for you. Going to have some from the defensive side of the football if this keeps up.
Yep. Fine with me.
T.J. Reed back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Want to say hello, Stephanie Metz. She's moving today into a new house, but while she's moving, she's got the TV on and watching the UTV 44
that's
game of the week.
Matter of priorities.
Yep.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's a feat there to get the cable or the satellite hooked up.
Well, she was not going to move because the plan was to move on Friday. She was not going to do it until she knew she could see the high school football game of the week. So priorities there. Thanks, Stephanie, for watching as she usually does. Her husband, Brian, down on the sidelines, the trainer for the Daphne Trojans. No gain for T.J. Reed on first down. Quinley with a little pump fake. Now fires it through the hands of Reed. And that one, can't put that one on the quarterback.
Yeah, he just took his eyes off the football at the last second, thinking about the yardage he's going to pick up. So, he'd like to have a do-over or a reset like they do on their video games, but can't do it on the field.
I'm sorry, Jim. What I was going to say was Daphne comes into this game. A lot of teams walk into this place and they're already a few points down just in terms of attitude, right? Like, it's Spanish Fort. They're great at home. They're great everywhere. That's not the way Daphne's approached this game at all. And you look at the season records of 4-3 and 7-0, and we said from the beginning, a little misleading.
3rd and 10 to open up the second half. Play clock.
Great point.
Inside 5, blitz coming from the outside. Quinley steps up, fires it over the middle, nearly intercepted by J.D. Campbell.
Well, I thought he was going to climb the pocket there and really find a wide open receiver there, but just overlooked the linebacker, and he gets his paws up there and says, "Oh, I almost had me an interception."
Gosh, pretty good depth there as a linebacker, right?
Yes.
Campbell, he was a guest on our pregame show earlier in the season as well, and so Daphne's defense forces a 3 and out. Daryl Petway will stand back at the 30, and Josh Varela on the punt.
6'2", 220 senior.
Pressure coming. High kick, not a very deep kick. Petway calls for a fair catch and gets it at the 42-yard line. And so the Toros with a defensive stand, and they'll have good field position to open things up. Look at that crowd here tonight. I want to thank our friends at Mullinex Ford for being a high school football sponsor, and also the $5,000 sponsorship for the Scholastic Athlete each week, and Millsaps and Associates. Located on Azalea Road, Mobile. Great rates on auto and home. And Wigmans, but the end of the fishing season and boating season coming up. Wigmans, they got everything to get your boat and your dock and your boat lift and everything in order. Do it now so that when the season starts in the spring, you're not like, oh, dang it, I should have done that back in the fall.
Oh, Jim, what are you going to do on the weekends if there's no boat season?
I can find some things to fill the time. Shable tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he does just that. And so the first half showing out that great defensive play by both sides, and we start the second half.
We're going to pick up where they left off. Yeah.
Shable in the backfield behind Javon Brown. Blitz coming as Tyrick Richardson was coming on the blitz.
Blew it dead before he got off.
Yeah, he was in way too soon. We wait for the official call. Here we get it.
Prior to the snap. Offside. Defense. Replay the drill.
Ashley's got an injury update for us.
That's right, guys. I spoke to a source close to trade threat saying that he is just in a lot of pain. I did see him coming out of the locker room with a splint from his knee down to his ankle. So it looks like maybe a shin injury, but right now he says he's just in a lot of pain.
The pitch to Christian Cotton, and Cotton loses a yard on the play. And so third and about 6 now coming up.
Great play by Stanford coming up there and making us sick.
Yeah, glad he's back out there. We saw him kind of hobble off late in the first half. So he was a guest on the pregame show a few weeks ago, tackled this week's guest on the pregame show, Christian Cotton, who Cotton was great. I mean, just big smile and had everything under control.
Yeah, you know, it's amazing that those kids are that poised in that sort of environment.
Brown pulls this one down. Javon Brown makes a move at the 50, and he's going to have a first down to the 45. Wow, that was good defense downfield, but Brown makes something happen with his feet.
Yeah, talk about being poised in an environment, right?
Yeah, sure. I think right there he felt the threat of being sacked, and he said, hey, there's some green grass in front of me. Why don't I just pick up this first down with my legs?
At the 45. Brown gives it to Shable. Shable now, he tried to cut back and got to the line of scrimmage, and that was all.
That time by that blade of grass. I want to say hello to Leroy out there. He going through some difficulties, had a little surgery, and he's watching it tonight. Leroy Jones, hello.
Joseph Cazales commenting on the Facebook page, hey, we love the information like this. The Daphne High School Band won all first place awards in the state marching contest last weekend. So congratulations to the Daphne Band.
Good for them.
Thanks, Joseph, for passing that one along on our Facebook page. Just search UTV 44 High School Football Game of the Week. Brown on the keeper. We got a flag on the line of scrimmage. And this one will come back against the Trojans. Linda Begalk also posting on the Facebook page. We're enjoying the broadcast of the game out here in Iowa. Thanks for all the shout-outs to Iowa. The name Begalk is hard to pronounce. Chris will have
Beak.
to work on that. What?
Beak. Is that it? The last name Beak?
B-I-G-A-L-K.
Yep, pronounced Beak.
I'm going to throw the challenge flag on that one.
Yeah, that's Manley and Linda Beak enjoying their grandsons.
We're going to ask for a phonetic posting on Facebook.
What we'll do is we'll ask a snowbird down in Gulf Shores.
They'll know. A lot of time in Iowa. I lived right on the Iowa border. Spent a lot of time up there. Cedar Rapids.
On the offense. 5 yards from the previous spot. Replay second down.
You know, I'm looking across the way, and I was thinking, man, Daphne really travels well, but then I rethought it, and it's about 1.25 miles.
It's not like a cross-country trip here.
You think they jogged down?
But they are certainly here in big numbers, and again, they had to use some buses to transfer people from Eastern Shore Center to get to this game.
2nd and 15, screen. Cam Harrison out of the backfield. Now flag as well, right when Harrison makes the reception, and that usually is going to be a hold, Vic Lockett.
Yeah, it looks like one of the linemen's got a good bit of jersey there, being real aggressive. Nothing real egregious, just trying to hustle and make a play.
One thing I've noticed about this Harrison kid is he runs downhill. He's not a big guy. Watch him attack right here.
Oh, yeah, there's a handful of...
Jacob Johnson there.
We hate it. We just mention the lineman one time a game.
No, I call them out when they make some good plays. So fair balance there.
Wow.
I'll mention them when they get a little hole on the defense, but if they're making some holes for those backers, then, you know, I love to talk about them.
There you
those
go.
Running backs.
There's one you talked about a few years ago. They honored at halftime, and he did a lot of good on the offensive line. Dismukes, of course, now at Auburn.
Wow, this has gone from a 2nd and 15 to a 2nd and 28 for the Toros. Brown will keep it, and he'll get a chunk back up to the 47-yard line.
He is extremely elusive. He's playing wide out and also defensive back. When Tyler Johnston went down a few weeks ago when we were here at that game, and he went down, this all-state quarterback, at a time when the game was really salted away against Saraland, right.
He looks shorter than what he is. They got him listed at 5'11", so I venture to say he's at least 5'10", but he's just got big guys around him.
He sure does. A lot of big guys on that field on both sides.
He picked up 10 there on 3rd and 18. Harrison in motion, dropped by Campbell, picks it back up, and then fires wide open. He's got Petway on the far sideline. Libero Petway slips down. And did his knee go down? It did at the 39. Wow, that slippery turf cost him there. But a breakdown, Daphne, defensively, because Petway was wide open on the far side, Vic.
Yeah, he just kind of found the open receiver there, and nobody in the neighborhood at all. He's got the backyard to himself, except a little grease out there is just causing it to not be able to get good footing.
Put his hand down.
Yeah, looked like he actually...
I thought his knee touched.
On the replay there.
Didn't look like it.
Did not look like it.
Oh, unfortunately, we don't have a vote. The Zebras got the all-inclusive and
let's see what's right there, Vic Lockett. Yeah,
okay.
It did not go down. Waka to Aneu with a high punt. And back at the 11. And that's where Daphne will take over. And let's send it back down to Ashley for another Educator Spotlight brought to you by our friends at Faulkner State.
I'm with Melody Maples representing Spanish Fort High School. I spoke with you before. There are several things that we have highlighted over Spanish Fort over the past couple weeks. This week we're talking about the community outreach program. Tell us a little bit about that.
Project Outreach is a student-led organization that takes neurotypical students, your normal student body, and couples them with neurologically challenged students. And they do such a great job of supporting and integrating the students in communities with their families.
And then there was something that was introduced out of that was the sensory garden.
Right. The students of Project Outreach and the Environmental Club got together and wanted an outdoor place where students could get together and stimulate the senses of the neurologically challenged students.
Okay.
So the engineering department is actually building the flower boxes. We have a wooden swing. We have there's going to be a water feature. Miss O'Neill of the sponsor of the Environmental Club wrote a grant and got a Lowe's grant. It's gorgeous. I actually took my photography students out there and we took pictures. There's already butterflies coming. They planted flowers that would attract butterflies. It is amazing.
So it benefits everyone in some way.
It does. And the science students did the research on the flowers to figure out what should grow. The engineering students are actually building it. It's going to benefit all the students.
Wow. And one thing I wanted to follow up from last Friday, we were told that Spanish Fort's band was going to a competition. We've heard they've done very well. Tell us how well.
Well, the first competition they attended, they received all superiors, which is the highest rating they could get. Last week they placed second in their range. They're about to go to Disney World to be in the Make-A-Wish parade.
And something I've realized about these tight games we've been having is these bands aren't taking off in the third quarter. They're playing.
They are.
Great.
They're amazing. They worked so hard all summer preparing for this.
Well, good luck with the rest of the school year, and thank you so much.
3rd and 8, Quinley with pressure, steps up in the pocket, still looking to fire, far sideline and incomplete. Spanish Fort's defense got some pressure, and again, we saw Quinley calmly step up in the pocket there and just fired that one high on the far side as he was trying to get it over to Austin Riles.
Yeah, Quinley here, you see him shows good pocket mobility, tries to get away from the pressure, step up, deliver the pass, but it was a little bit high and out too wide.
Jim, this is what you need to know about this defense of Spanish Fort tonight. They have held T.J. Reed to 12 carries and 33 yards. Less than 3 yards a carry.
Averaging 8.5 yards a carry coming in. Lots of pressure. Barella, a high kick. The Toros get away from it. But you always got to watch as Daryl Petway likes to pick those up when he has a chance, but they'll get it at the 44-yard line. Good field position to start for Spanish Fort. Just 5 minutes to go in the third. Still scoreless on the hill. They have run out of fries and chicken and shrimp here, and I see this gentleman chewing. I mean, so let's get the straight score. They just made an announcement that they were out of fries and chicken.
We've got, unfortunately, up here about 10 pounds of fries that we haven't gotten to.
And we started with 15, so we put a good dent in them.
I'm just saying, don't tell the masses.
These guys ate one.
Yeah. That's all true.
Harrison hit on first down. He gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Little deception out of the offense. They come trips to the bottom of the screen and go to the short side of the field with a little small jet sweep. We call it a jet, call it a propeller sweep.
Kills Sanford again, making the play. So
he's been busy all night.
He's always busy. Always busy, Vic.
No gain on first down. Cotton, instead they pitch it inside. Harrison tried to cut it back. Sanford there again also.
And they tried the deception again with that little, I'm going to call it a little propeller sweep. Doesn't trick this Daphne defense. They're sound, gap responsible, and going to be where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, Harrison's a tough kid, but he's like saying, can we try something new?
Yeah. Milton and Sanford both there, and it's 3rd and 10.
Boy, these defenses are just playing out of their minds tonight.
Looks like a playoff game.
Really does.
Kevin Marion, the lanky receiver, to the bottom of the screen. When Browns put it in the air tonight, he's like to look that way, and does again this time. Single coverage out, trying to make a move. Skinny ankle grabbed and pulled down there. Tyrick Richardson was not going to let, not a lot to hold on to, but he got there.
Not a whole lot, man. I tell you what, had he broke free, he may have picked up the first down there. He just held on to those long legs, those skinny ankles you're talking about. Just couldn't break free there.
Look how long it took for Daphne to get over there. You talk about one-on-one coverage. That's exactly what that was, and it was designed that way.
Yeah, Richardson, the junior. Daphne here on 4th down. Wakatu and AU going to punt. How many times have you seen Spanish Fort go 3 and out? Not very often. Rugby-style kick, and Jabia with a fair catch back at the 14.
That's the second time he's made one nearly over the shoulder.
Yep.
Not easy.
All right, we asked you our trivia question back in the first half. And the question was, who was the first Daphne Trojan to play in the NFL? Dan Brennan had a guess?
I have a guess, and he played at Alabama, and his last name was King, I believe.
Oh, you're thinking about Ed King, but I think he went to Daphne. Oh, and we are talking about Daphne.
We are talking
I'm thinking about Spanish Fort. So, Kenny King.
Kenny King.
Kenny King. Good job, Dan Brennan.
I got it.
There you go. Arizona Cardinal.
TJ Reed nowhere to go on the left side.
You know, I think Kenny played against the McGill team, which my son Zach was on, and he was one of those players where you said, who's that guy? He was a big, strong guy and could really dominate.
Yeah, and his dad still lives in this area. He's a pharmacist in this area doing well, and great community guy himself, Mr. King.
2nd and 10, no gain for TJ Reed, which you don't get a chance to say very often.
No, you don't, but a lot tonight.
And they'll give it right back to him. And Reed hit and dropped again.
There's that guy.
Thomas Johnston, the sophomore.
Yeah, I tell you what.
And those two will be batting again next year.
If they could just get him a little excited on game night.
Well, Vic, Vic, you talked about it in the pregame. You said how he sheds a block, and that's what he did there to make the play.
Absolutely. You're going to get blocked all the time, or you're going to be tempted to be blocked as a defender, but you can't stay blocked.
I'll tell you, you should be recruiting him as Iowa. They've got the inside.
He's got people up there, right?
Iowa, Oregon.
I'm sure the grandparents would love to have him up there close to them for a while.
The folks in Ohio that are watching, TJ Reed up the middle. Reed to the 24, and he's going to be just short of the first down. It's going to bring up 4th down.
Man, nothing's coming easy tonight, is it? And I agree with Mr. Lockett, and we should always agree with Mr. Lockett because he's the guy that went to all the bowl games.
Well, I'm bigger than you guys.
Well, that's reason number 1. But let's go with 1A. You played at a high level, and it may just take one big play tonight, Jim, to make
maybe a punt return. Maybe a punt return. Maybe on special teams.
Or a drop or a turnover. That's a lot of beef up there for Daphne Trojans.
Ladero Petway stands back at the 42. Barella spiral kick, and Petway's going to get a chance to return this one. Shoestrings it at the 41, and he'll pick up a couple.
Well, it looked like he was going to have an opportunity, but I tell you what, that was pretty good coverage.
Hey, I want to tell you, we got 3 sponsors this year have joined together: the Mobile County Sheriff's Office, Baldwin County Sheriff's Office, and Drug Education Council to educate students, parents, and teachers on the effects of spice. Educate yourself and your kids about spice. Visit spicekills.com, where they have all the information you need. And also, we're giving away a stay for a week down at the Carib for spring break next year. Go to spicekills.com, watch the video, and you'll get a chance to register by getting a code you see at the end of the video. There's a stay down at the Carib.
Where Vic stays all the time.
Up ahead, Shable out near midfield on first down.
But definitely not during spring break. Too noisy. Let the kids have it then.
There you go. Shable's dad played a little fullback at Auburn, out of Coleman, Alabama. His family's from up there. Talking to him at halftime.
Shable pick up a couple of more. Now, Jim Bibby, former official, piping in here as well, saying, Dan Brennan, the only sprints I've ever seen you run is from the couch to the refrigerator.
Well,
and then you get there and do curls, right?
Jim, who's a security guy, evidently has got some cameras in my house.
So down inside, 20 seconds here in the third quarter. 3rd and 2. Low snap. Brown picks it up, and he's going to be driven back.
Wow. Every time the snap isn't right or the snap is dropped for whatever reason, it seems like it's 3rd down, and it seems to blow up a play and an opportunity.
Trent Ellis blowing that one up here.
Yeah, he had to go down low and gather it in, but then right there, the defense locks in on him.
4th down coming up to start quarter number 4. Still scoreless in Spanish Fort. The Toros and the Trojans with a good tussle here on UTV 44. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Brian Aaron, Ashley Pope, Jared Quijas ready to start quarter number 4 here, and the Toros will punt. Wakatu with that rugby style, another line drive, Kansas City Royal style, all the way down into the end zone, and that'll bring it up to the 20. Hey, I want to say hello and thank our friends over at Spring Hill Hardware and also Kamada Joe Grills. Spring Hill Hardware, see tip over there. Kamada Joe, I've got mine going at the house right now. Born in pork roast. You can smell it up here. I live so close. You can smell it.
Is that where we're going after the game?
Absolutely. Come on over.
I haven't heard anything about that till now, Vic, so I don't think so.
They are Kamada Joe Grills. Wonderful. Get them at Spring Hill. Tip the folks from the press box at the high school football game of the week. Send them over, and 1st and 10 for the Trojans. Direct snap, TJ Reed to the 20, which is where the line of scrimmage was, so no gain.
Looks like I'm taking home Greg Peterson's pizza again, which is nothing shabby right there.
Let's have that with a little Georgia football on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
Or maybe a piece on the causeway.
Well, you know, eating and driving, I'm not going to do that.
That's not what it looked like last week, I saw you.
Well, I'd wait till I got home, though.
2nd and 10. We are scoreless in the 4th.
Do you think these two teams scout each other pretty well?
Reed will fight for 2.
You know, no one has done this to Reed, including a very good Blunt defense we saw last week.
Yep.
He's just been piling up 200-yard games.
I think he had over 300 against Blunt.
That's hard to believe.
And that was an overtime game. Blunt, we talked about their only 2 losses, overtime to these 2 teams.
Right. I mean, how good are they?
Yeah.
Who left that stadium last week saying nobody wants to play them again.
3rd and 7. Quinley with pressure coming. Fires it to the far side, and he's able to get it complete. Keontae Mitchell has the 1st down at the 32.
Quinley, great belief in his arm when he needed to have it.
Yes,
that's a long throw.
It was. I mean, that would travel some distance. Hit him right between the numbers. Not concerned about the rush at all. Just gets it to his receiver to pick up the 1st down.
Got a good block there, too.
Yep. Holcomb was over there on the coverage. The first down we've seen in a while. Reed dances, and he'll get to the line of scrimmage.
You know,
wow. I mean, they are really nasty on him.
I'm telling you, yeah, first of all, the line of scrimmage, you just can't penetrate it if you're trying to get anything on this Spanish 14. When those linebackers show up, they come with some bad action in mind.
And they're not missing tackles.
No.
18 carries, 44 yards.
Man.
For TJ Reed tonight. But you think at some point he's going to pop one. I mean, you have that. If you're Daphne, you think he's going to do it.
Yeah, keep trying.
2nd and 10. Quinley looking to pass. This time he has time. Looking for single coverage for Brandolin Purdue, and it's going to be pass interference. He got behind Stephen Holcomb, and it'll be a 15-yard penalty and a 1st down for the Trojans.
He had good coverage. He was step for step with him. Just didn't turn his head to do the optimal thing. Yeah, do the optimal thing that would clear the ref to say, hey, he's just in good coverage. He's got a right to the football, too. If you take a look at it, Quinley put it out there perfect for him. Just wasn't able to connect to cause the interference.
You're right. If he just keeps running, he's going to be there in coverage.
So I think he felt that arm and just knew he had it.
Well, I like the Quinley kid, and so does Coach Vickery. And this kid has got one live arm.
Yep.
Well, he showed it off right there. It was charged and ready to go.
And he's just 6'2", 160, so he's going to be bigger next year, you would think, as a senior.
Yeah.
And first down after the 15-yard penalty up to the 48-yard line. T.J. Reed to midfield.
You know, the live arm, really, it's just like speed for some skilled guys. You know, it's the thing you can't teach.
Yep. Hey, look at the remaining schedule for Daphne here. Of course, they have, how about this little stretch they've had? You know, Murphy, Fairhope, Gulf Shores, Spanish Fort, then they get Baldwin County, who's much improved next week. Then they wrap things up against LaFleur. And then the playoffs start.
And I want to apologize to those who teach quarterbacks things. What I'm saying is you can teach a quarterback to refine what he does, but to have that sort of ability, you have it or you don't.
Quinley again goes to the far side and on the Daphne sideline, and he's got it complete, and it's going to be good for a first down, it appears, at the 42.
He can throw a football.
Well, I tell you, that receiver jumped up there and caught that one, and he was on this sideline, so they're all going to say he's in, and he did actually get a foot in.
He sure did.
Great work.
They'll move the chains.
You know, we're down to just a few possessions here, Jim. Could be.
Really are. Inside 9 minutes to go. Quinley looks over, gets the play. From the Daphne sideline. We'll give it off. Rashad McCullum comes in. Spells Reed at running back. And he'll pick up a few.
Tell you what, time of possession for Daphne probably has got to be more than Spanish Fort because they have really held on the football. They had one big long drive in the first half, but no points to show for it.
Yeah, they had that first half. They had a drive nearly 8 minutes long, 16 plays.
But they have kept that offense off the field. Over almost a 5-minute advantage for Daphne in time of possession, says Brian Aaron, our statistician. 22-10. Time of possession for the Daphne Trojans. 17 minutes and change for Spanish Fort. Ahead, T.J. Reed inside the 35, then bowls ahead.
There might be something about Reed in the Wildcat, Vic, where he has a better look at things, and maybe rather than at his tailback position, running back position, he can survey things easier and become a little more effective on the ground. So we may see more of Reed at Wildcat, Jim. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, I'm sure every back would say, hey, just snap it straight to me and let me do my thing.
Right.
They'll send Quinley out, a receiver. In the games we have done, we have not seen Reed throw it at all out of the Wildcat.
That might be in the back pocket.
Tremendous athlete, you would think. He has that in his skill set.
Sure.
As we are down to 7.5.
Reed changing the play, huh?
To go in this game. Play clock now inside 10. Look at everybody on the line of scrimmage for the Toros. Reed piles ahead on third and short. He's going to have the first down.
You know, you like his chance overlooking the line of scrimmage like that, being able to pick his way to find 1 yard they needed there.
Yep.
So I was thinking if he's going to throw it, it's probably not going to be on this play because that would have caught everybody by surprise.
So now this snap will take place with under 7 minutes to go. Glenn Vickery, only 3 times in his 11 years here, the Toros lost more than 3 games in a season. And they are at 4-3 right now. 09, they were 04, 7-5 when he took over. 09, 6-7, and 2012, 8-4. Dropped by Quinley. Now looking to fire. He's able to get it to the hands of Purdue, but he can't hold on.
Yeah, he kind of threw it behind him there. He was agitated there with some defenders in his face and just wasn't able to get a good delivery.
The Spanish Fort Toros. Maybe you're just flipping through and jumping out at the end of a UTV 44 game of the week saying, hey, scoreless. Whoa, watch this. Toros have won 31 straight.
You should have seen everything we've seen up till now. It's been a lot of great defense.
Now I've got to get a shout out to the Toros JV team and Todd Turner, who gives them a good picture during the week and get them ready to play on Friday night.
2nd and 10. T.J. Reed, a bigger hole this time, and Reed to the 25 and get the 26-yard line. That's where they'll knock him down with third down coming up.
Despite that muscle on that Daphne offensive line, those gaps have been really far and few between. Draw play right here, and they just converge to the ball like as well as any team we've seen.
And that's what gave him some yardage. You know, that draw, as you said, they were stepping back, thinking it was a pass, then they had to get back down on their horse and come back and tackle the run.
But they do it quickly, don't they?
They do.
If they did not gain a yard here, it'd be a 43-yard field goal attempt. Barella's got 2 field goals on the year, missed one tonight. They give it off to Reed. Reed cuts it up the middle, and he's got the first down and more. T.J. Reed still on his feet, down to the 17-yard line.
Yeah, they snapped it, Jim, before I could say, but I really felt like, and you can talk about gauging how far that field goal is going to be. You've got T.J. Reed, right, maybe getting a little lathered up now. Probably 2-down territory right there. You give it to Reed twice and see if you can't make those, 4 or 5 yards, and they make it all on that, and then some.
I bet you T.J. Reed's one of those. You want to talk about great backs. Most of these backs that are good, they don't get tired. You know, you think Reed getting all these carries would be tired. Does he look like he's tired now?
Nope, does not.
They'll give it right back to him, and he's got a big hole on the right side, and he gets down to the 10. He may not be tired, but you wonder if you start to see a little tiredness from this defense on this drive.
I think that's what you are seeing.
Yeah, they are really wearing them down here, and, you know, Reed, he's getting his yardage now. He's going to keep handing it to him, Coach Vickery is, just because what we're saying. He's subject to pop it at any point in time in the game.
He's going to catch a breather right here. Now, they're second and short, maybe 3 or so, and you have to figure this McCullum kid is big and strong, and you know, 2 shots you're going to get that first down is what they're thinking, hoping right now. Spanish Fort tries to catch their breath.
Play clock inside 10. They give it McCullum right up the middle, and he trips and gets to the 10-yard line.
Crazy the way kids are going down without contact tonight.
Yeah, these blades of grass are getting a lot of tackles for certain. It wouldn't be a bad timeout, I don't think, if Spanish Fort would take one here just to let the defense kind of gather themselves and get a breather. But it looks like they're going to leave him out there and say go.
I think McCullum had a shot to get closer to that first down if he doesn't go down on his own.
I agree.
Big, strong kid.
3rd down and 4 coming up.
Looks like they're going to line up in that 3-by-1, trips to the bottom of the screen, a single receiver up top.
Play clock at 5. T.J. Reed on the right side, and Reed up ahead. Touchdown, Toros.
There you go.
Spread them out. Let Reed find something in the middle.
Yep, and that's what they did right there. And I just had a feeling you were not going to ask Quinley to throw that ball right there, not with all the lack of space for a quarterback to kind of try to fit something in. When you've got T.J. Reed and you've got 2 downs to get it, this is what you do right here. He gets it in the first one. Good blocking again on the right side especially.
And what he does really good is he goes to that right side but bends it back.
Yep.
And, you know, just catches the defense overplaying it.
Varela splits the S and the F. How about T.J. Reed? First 18 carries, 44 yards. Last 7, 41 yards.
There you go.
And the Trojans are on top 7-0 with 4 minutes to go against Spanish Fort. Top of the hour, wow. 9 o'clock. Very quick-moving game, of course, 7-0. Daphne would lead just 4 minutes to go, so we've been scoreless until we just got that touchdown from T.J. Reed.
That's amazing.
Defense.
Yeah, and then finally, I'll tell you what, the right side of that offensive line, man, they were really getting things going. Dallin Johnson, Chris White, the big guy, they're both big, 290 and 340, and they started leaning down on Spanish Fort. The Toros weren't liking it after a little while on that drive, and now the Trojans are showing that they're excited.
Look at that drive.
Another one of those drives, again, just like one of the first half, it took nearly 8 minutes off the clock. You can't score if you don't have it. And
it is tough at any level of football to see a 13-play drive because usually something breaks down. Right. Holding call, you end up at 3rd and 8, or it's hard to sustain that. Now look at this formation here, Vic Lockett on the kickoff.
Don't think anything, just to make them think. But the key on that time of possession, this time they capitalized.
Right.
They got the score.
You're right.
But Daryl Petway.
So did the ref spot the ball wrong?
That was a flag they dropped there, so that'll back him up 5. And
I didn't see the flag. I just saw him blow the whistle and move it back. He didn't give us an explanation.
So Petway is back deep. Cam Harrison is up close on the near side. Christian Cotton up close on the far side. Varela sends it over Cotton's head and goes out of bounds.
So that'll give him an advantage there in terms of the penalty where they'll spot the football, so they'll have decent field position.
4:15 to go. Hey, want to look at our Mullinex Ford Scholastic athletes. Mike Cash for the Daphne Trojans, 3.5. GPA, going to study engineering, member of the Honor Society at the University of Alabama. And I think Trojans going to have to kick this again. I think Coach Mark Freeman saying, hey, give us a chance to run this one back. So congratulations to Mike Cash, our Scholastic athlete from Daphne High School. Again, all the athletes that are representing the Scholastic athlete each week at the end of the year will have a chance to win a $5,000 scholarship from Mullinex Ford.
That comes in handy.
Yeah, how about great folks over there, too. Harrison DeLong, senior, playing varsity football for 4 years, 4.0 GPA, National Honor Society, FCA. He's going up to Auburn. Okay, congratulations to Harrison. And now we're ready for the kickoff again as the penalty. So this is second penalty, so now you're back to the 30. So now a chance to get even better field position if you're the Toros. And Mark Freeman says, hey, I got some playmakers back there. I want to give every chance I get to get it in their hands.
Yeah, no doubt. He's also got to get it in their hands from the line of scrimmage here if they don't take anything back long.
Varela, middle of the field. Petway will take it at the 10. But Daryl Petway already out to the 30. Petway to the 40, and a huge hit from Khalil Sanford at the 42.
Wow, I tell you what, that one got me to my feet for sure.
You know,
somebody lost a I think somebody lost a shoe on that one. Little Sanford.
That might be a limb.
Thank God it's only a shoe. How about that?
Oh man.
But Sanford has had a well of a game. Let me go ahead and put him in as player of the game.
There you go.
Definitely one of the nominations.
There's one.
He's got my vote.
Part of that Daphne defense that has pitched a shutout so far, and he is really a physical, fast outside backer that likes to get to it, as you saw right there.
And a shutout not just against any offense.
Yeah.
Spanish Ford offense.
Shable slips, and then Brown has to pick up the football that came loose. Wow, that was just a footing thing. Shable slipped, and then Brown picks the ball up off the field, and then he gets driven back.
Yeah, there's something going on with that field for certain. I mean, there's just too many blades of grasses having some tacklers out there. And I tell you, if you slip or do anything incorrect, Daphne's capitalizing, reestablishing the line of scrimmage further back.
Loss of 4. Mark Freeman's going to take a timeout here. He's got all 3 remaining.
Yeah, why not?
So
Big drive.
He'll take one. Hey, want to say hi to Kim Chapman and her husband over in Robertsdale watching the game tonight. And Kim, actually one of my writing mentors. She helps me with some writing projects. So hello to her. There's also another Kim Chapman watching the game in Rock Creek who was kind of on me saying I had a bad hair night the other week during the game. And I said, are you just watching? You just noticed it that week?
Well,
a lifetime of bad.
I haven't been accused of that in a long time.
Bad hair. So
I'm good there.
We're just happy to have it, right?
Yeah. Lots of good hair at the orthopedic group. Those doctors, they all nice heads of hair. So thanks to the.
Some of them got rugs. You know that.
But they're nice ones.
I'm not naming names.
They're nice ones.
Oh, they're quality.
The orthopedic. Also, Advanced Collision. They bring you our player of the game each week. And thank you to Greer's. You know what I like about Greer's? The local produce. They actually have locally grown organic produce in their stores. I saw that the other day. So that's very, very cool. So thanks to Greer's for being a part.
Robert, a great guy.
Yep.
Fantastic.
2nd and 14.
Now what? You can't even keep your feet.
Shable goes in motion. They fake it to him. Rolling out. Brown with pressure coming. Fires this one up. Looking for Wakatu Aneyu.
Yeah, he did not get either foot in on that one. Great catch. Great job by Javon Brown just to get it out there, but needed to get it in bounds a little more for his receiver.
Yeah, he's under a lot of pressure right here for him just to get it out there. And watch the feet come down. Yep.
Yeah, he drug the back foot, but the front foot came down out of first. Yep. 3rd and 14. The streak on the line at 31.
And we're here.
And they have played Daphne, their rival, 2 times before. Again, these 2 schools weren't in the same classification or region until this year.
No.
Daphne was 6A, Spanish Fort was 5A. Now Brown has time. Heaves it up, looking for Petway, and he overthrew him. He was just trying to get Petway behind everyone. And now, with 3:23 to go and 2 timeouts, 4th and 14.
But how about Coach Freeman having confidence in Brown to throw it on those 2 plays there?
Well, you know, I think
2nd and 3rd downs.
The slip up on 1st down, I think 2 reasons for that. The slip up has you 2nd and 14, okay? Yeah. And then you're not running it well. I mean, you're just really not doing much on the ground. You got to
turn the page high and go to the passing game.
You got to try something.
Yeah.
I think that 1st down play, Vic, just really put him in that hole.
Yeah, it backed him up and got him off schedule.
Right. To Aneu with pressure and a high kick. And the 29 is Jabia. Makes the fair catch.
Not a small amount of pressure on that catch of the punt.
No, it wasn't, and that verifies what Jim says, no halo rule.
More of our friends that bring you great high school games like these each and every week. Aaron's. Also, budget breaks, lifetime warranty starting at $89.99, 11% off on Wild Wednesdays, and alignments at just $59.99 in Faulkner State. Check them out at faulknerstate.edu. And Chicken Salad Chick, lots of food for our crew. They offer catering to go, and going to be opening up a new store over here on the Eastern Shore as well. And right now they're out on Hillcrest Road.
Got a pound this week.
Up ahead, TJ Reed was able to get away from Maurice Cole and back to the line of scrimmage on 2nd down. That was it.
Can be judicious with their timeouts here, Jim. They're letting the clock roll right here, but probably look for Coach Freeman to think seriously after the next stop, if it is in fact a stop.
26 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown for Reed tonight.
That's a modest stat line, but when they needed it, he delivered.
Scored the only touchdown of the game thus far, and they'll...
Reed's the guy that could salt it away here with a couple of runs.
Play clock inside 5. Now they were going to give it to Reed and some miscommunication, and Quinley will be hit. And now a timeout going to be called for by the Toros as Quinley went one way and Reed went the other.
Bad time for a mix-up.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They're going to have a discussion about that for sure.
3rd and 10 coming up. Then you would think Daphne's going to keep it on the ground here. Make Spanish Fort possibly use their last timeout.
Well, no one was more surprised than Quinley when...
Then Reed wasn't there, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
hey, I don't want it, guy.
Exactly. Man, TJ, where you at, man?
You've been here all night for me. Don't leave me now, baby.
That was a little bit of panic, but how about this Daphne team showing up big?
Defensively, and they probably got the blueprint last week and probably made some adjustments from what they saw, how Blunt handled them, and implemented it tonight. It looks like it's worked out well for him.
Yeah, and again, Tyler Johnston, he's not here. Is that going to affect Spanish Fort in the long run? Heck, it's affecting them right now.
You're right.
And a win by Daphne makes them tied for the region on top.
All 3 would have just one region loss.
Yep.
And they can all play because we've seen all 3 of them.
Last loss at home and the last loss for this team, October 5th, 2012. 3rd and 9. Reed on the right side, trying to get to the edge. And he'll lose a couple. And 4th down coming up, and Mark Freeman will take the timeout with 2:17 left. If only the game of the week lived up to the billing occasionally.
Oh, man, how about that? What a year we've had. Oh, we've had watch the right side that's had some great push. Not this time. Too many. There's the senior linebacker getting busy as he always does, J.D. Campbell. Too many black hats in the area.
Black shirts are up for the task, huh?
Yeah, and at that point, I think you really started to know they're going to the right side. Here's where they're going. You can read your keys. They're going there.
We have seen the Toros bring a lot of pressure on punts here tonight, and they've come close to getting to Varela.
That's a great
a couple
point.
of times.
Great point. Teams like this are always so well coached in terms of special teams. Mark Freeman, whatever he was talking to the referee, it could pay dividends here real quick.
We talk so much about what Mark Freeman has done here. 45-3, 22-3 in region play, 159-35 overall in 16 years as head coach. That's 10 wins a year, which is so impressive. Also, he coached basketball up at Bessemer, and he won a state championship there as a head basketball coach in 2008 and went to the finals 2 other times.
So you got a couple of coaches. Coach Vickery right there.
Coach Vickery
also has coached multiple sports effectively.
Yep. Also was the baseball coach at Spring Hill College.
They both won state championships.
Borella with pressure coming, and he gets it off. They don't touch him. Petway fair catches it. The 44, and we have seen Spanish Fort have good field position a lot in this game, but just have not been able to capitalize. And so now,
well, you guys were talking about Coach Freeman. The big thing that stood out to me, just then they had that timeout. The defensive coaches were talking, and you would think the head coach would be in there too. No, apparently he delegates, lets his guys do the job that they need to do, and he handles the offense.
I got a name for you here, guys. See if he doesn't get the ball here real soon. And that would be Cotton, Christian Cotton, who we had on the pregame show. Their offense is almost predicated on getting him the ball so many times a game. He hadn't seen it much tonight.
He's split out to the bottom of the screen. Brown scrambling, wants to try to make something happen. And Brown steps out of bounds, but there's a block in the back at the 40. Saw that one coming from a mile away.
Yeah, it was Petway coming back.
Just trying to do a little too much. They're starting to feel a little bit of the pressure, and you'll see it clearly here on your screen as he comes back over here towards you. And right there, he tries to peel the tackler off of him. But if he had his name on his jersey, Jim, you know you could read it clearly. You don't touch him.
Walk to the rack on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Let me give Petway a little love here. That defender also was kind of turning as the whole thing was happening. I mean, I guess that's a block in the back. It was kind of a block on the side of the shoulder in a way, but too close.
So first and
same difference.
20.
Like the side of the shoulder, side of the back.
Back at the 30-yard line.
Seems like a big difference. Right now, the Spanish Fort.
Pulling it down. Brown with no timeouts, trying to get back up to the original line of scrimmage. They'll have to hurry.
But they got some football players right here on the Daphne defense, especially showing out tonight.
Jay Hughes, who was our guest in the pregame show, slow to get up. Down to 140 and running, second and about 16. Minute and a half on the clock. Javon Brown, the junior quarterback.
Still got 12 seconds on the clock.
But the big clock down to 118. Get it over here to Petway. Petway up the near side. He'll just step out of bounds, trying to make third down a little manageable here and stop the clock.
Yeah, I think that was a good move by Petway. He was going to get met well before the 50-yard line. So save yourself a little time. You got 2 downs to get the first down now.
Sure, no doubt.
Up to the 40.
About they're going for it on 4th down if it comes to it.
Yeah, up to the 44-yard line. 3rd and 10.
And they are making some noise with the band and with the fans on the far side right now.
Marion and Petway to the bottom of the screen, and Petway will go in motion. They give it off to Brown. Brown looks, has some time, strolls out to the right, now pressure, now he wants to pull it down, tried to slip and got knocked down, tried to make a move and slips down, and doing a good job to stay home. There for the Trojans was Johnny Milton, and it's 4th down and the streak on the line.
Yeah, and the clock is running, and there just really wasn't much out there.
Yeah, I think he may have had someone open, just wasn't sure about throwing it, though.
I don't think he ever saw him. Was down the far hash.
Boy, the Daphne sideline is throwing headsets down, throwing hats down way out there. I think they thought there was 12 men on the field for the Toros. They finally called a timeout.
Well, I know they did get a late guy off the field, and well, if that was the case, why did they still call their timeout? Let the clock run and just Spanish Fort would be discombobulated.
Well, the Toros now able to get huddled up over here, and the Trojans will need to purchase some new communication equipment after that one. There was some things being flung around over on the far sideline. They were not happy with the no call from the official.
Well, certainly it's in their grasp, and they certainly don't want to see it slip away on some fluky.
Yeah, there was a reason. I mean, the call wasn't coming. It may have been something defensively they saw that they just wanted to make sure. Otherwise, why would you stop the clock?
5 receivers. They send Harrison in motion. Brown has time. Now just wants to unload it. Looking to the near side for Cotton. It goes up. Intercepted. Picked off by Al Malone. The officials wanted, I should say, Cotton wanted a flag. Not going to get it.
Well, they're high-fiving on the Spanish Fort side in terms of the coaches, so it may have been something they got. Oh, no, they're saying turns over on downs. Well, not necessarily downs, but on the interception.
I got to say, you know, one way or the other, the game ends with a great defensive play. And if that's
very fitting.
Yes.
Befitting to the way the game has gone.
Al Malone comes up with the interception. And the Daphne Trojans are going to come up to Spanish Fort tonight.
Well, let's take a look at this play again. You know, I hate to say it, but it looks like it was a little contact downfield that wasn't called prior to that. We're getting it in the screen there.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about on the corner rather than on the safety who comes over and makes
Correct,
the pick.
Yeah. But they just didn't get it tonight. And
well, Malone comes up and makes the interception. And
great play by him as well. Malone to come over there and high point the football out of the air. But I guess the refs are saying let them play.
Well, on that one, maybe they just didn't see it that way. And you didn't see it on the replay either, talking to you all at home. I don't think it was egregious.
That's why I called it contact, not pass interference.
Right.
And so the Toros turn it over on the interception, and the Trojans able to take a knee, and they are going to come away
with a hard-fought victory.
Well, great, 6A Region 1 matchup here tonight.
And what a shot in the gut for this community. You know, the streak is done. You really get used to those things, Jim. You know, no matter whether you want to talk about it or not, you know you've got the streak, and now your arch rival from about 2 miles away has just ended all of that.
How many times did Daphne came to play here?
This was the second time out of 3 matchups, only the third time the schools have met. Wow. And again, and you know what? The Spanish Fort coaches were very demonstrative to their players, to making sure their players keep a good focus at the end of this game, saying, hey, look, this is not the end of the world. Go congratulate that team in white that just played a heck of a football game here tonight to beat you.
We might see him again.
No doubt.
And that's what's happening. These teams showing good sportsmanship. You love to see that out of both football teams. Looks like the students are going to storm the field of the opponent. But that's great sportsmanship you see right there on your screen. Coaches and players just hugging each other.
And it's a great win. And Daphne, their head coach, Glenn Vickery, is down with Ashley.
Coach Vickery, give me that smile one more time. I got a smile. You have stopped a 31-win streak tonight.
What I'm proud of is that 0. Our defense, 0, and finding a way to win. We've lost some close games, and, what a great win for our players. So proud of them. Getting too old for this, but I'm really proud of our guys.
What does a win like this mean on a team like Spanish Fort on their home field? What does it mean to Daphne? Because right now, you're now tied for first place in the region.
Well, what it means is we got ourselves set up for another big game next week. So, anytime you see your kids play as hard as they played, that's all you can ask for. And as an old man, when they play that hard, you just feel good for them.
How long do you let them celebrate?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I know the police chief would go to church with it. He may give us a few minutes, so we're going to enjoy it. I promise you, for a few minutes.
Great, congratulations.
Thank you,
Thank you.
I mean, just
You're laughing.
yeah. What a great win for Daphne. I mean, it really is. And we talked about in the region. We said it at the beginning of the broadcast. Hey, they're coming in 4-3, and some people are looking at what's up with Daphne. It's like, that was a very misrepresentation, I think, of this team.
Well, I happened to talk to a colleague that was down on the field before the game, and he hadn't seen as much high school football as we have this year, and just was kind of, what do you think? And I said, I think this pretty much a toss-up tonight. And he said, really? I said, yeah, don't worry about the records. Watch the way these two teams play. And I think, with Johnston out, it's definitely hampered the offense some.
Yeah, and it doesn't it just, Daphne has been in so many big games as a program and have come up with big wins. And, you know, this was a great win. They needed it from a region standpoint. They wanted a chance to, now this gives them a chance for home field advantage to start the playoffs as well. So, I mean, just a great win here for Daphne, regardless of a streak, this, that, or the other. Just a great road win in Region 1 6A football.
Yeah, but more than that, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Because of the proximity, the streak, the rivalry, and all that. Just a heck of a, privilege to be here again tonight.
No doubt. There's our players of the game, Keel Samford and T.J. Reed and J.D. Campbell. Defensively for the Spanish Fort Toros, Reed finishes the night, 27 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown. I don't think any of us are surprised at a 7-point outcome in the game, whether it would have been 7 points that maybe Spanish Fort would have won or if Daphne won. I don't think that would have surprised either. The manner in which it took place, that 7-0 final score, you don't see a lot of those at any form of football.
Especially against Spanish Fort.
Yeah, Mr. Defense can speak.
You love it that the defense has showed up tonight and made a statement and said, hey, we're here. This is what's going to control the football game. And that's what wins championship. And the key takeaway to me is the wisdom of Coach Vickery saying, hey, it just sets us up to play next week. We're going to celebrate this for a few minutes, but then we're back to work on Sunday because we've got big games ahead. And we've got bigger fish we're trying to fry.
You got it.
You talked about it earlier, Dan, saying that, Mark Freeman wanted to take the training wheels a bit off Javon Brown because they have big aspirations. Right. Now we're going to see how this Spanish Fort team bounces back next week.
No doubt about it. And one thing about Mr. Reed, too, when the clock got small, he got big. He got all his yards in the about the last half of the fourth quarter, just about, right? Great job by a great player on that right side of that offensive line. They leaned on them, and when they needed to have it, they got it.
Glenn Vickery leads his team to the victory here tonight. They are now 5-3 on the year, but more importantly, 5-1 in the region. Same standings region-wise as the Spanish Fort Toros. They snap the streak here tonight. A great win on high school football for the team in purple. They came just about a mile and a half up the road to do it, but a big win for the Trojans, their biggest of the season. They beat Spanish Fort tonight by a score of 7-0. So for Vic Lockett, Dan Brennan, Brian Aaron, our statistician, Jared Kihas in the truck, Ashley Pope on the sideline, I'm Jim Cox saying good night from the hill where the Trojans knock off the Toros.